95.7 The Hog. It's the Morning Hog radio program. That is Guy. I am Riggs. And it's time for the Brew Review, brought to you by Bloop SR Perrott. Vinnie!
Hey!
Vinnie!
What's going on?
SR Perrott.
How we doing?
Good to see you again, buddy.
Hey,
How are you?
Good to see you again.
Another Friday. People say, hey, why do you guys get beer? We said, because Vinnie forces it to happen.
I have to. That's the whole thing. I have to come in here and make you drink beer.
You brought special beer, friends.
Yes, I did.
Do the introductions,
I brought
man.
Atlantic Beach Brewing out of Jacksonville. And this is Spencer and Chris. I'm going to let you start talking about your beers and telling your story and seeing what's going on. I also have another guest. That's Krista. She is my new assistant.
Hi, Krista.
So, hey, new SR Perrott assistant. So
She's keeping a safe distance, which is probably
absolutely.
the best.
Way
the
back
best
in the
thing
corner over
possible,
there with
yeah.
a bar up and everything.
This is what happens when restraining orders kick in. I got it. I understand it.
All right. Spencer, go ahead. Let's start talking about your beautiful product.
Well, cool. Hey, thanks for having us in. We're a family-owned brewery in Atlantic Beach, just outside of Jack's Beach, in northeast Florida there. And we've been in business a little over a year. And we put 3 beers in market with Vinnie down here. And the 3 beers we put in market are 2 Minutes, Duality, Mayport Red. We have them in kegs as well as in cans in the market. So we're just really pleased to be here with you guys.
Awesome.
Yeah. So what one do you want to start with first, Spencer?
You know what? I think 2 Minutes is probably the most appropriate one.
Absolutely.
2 Minutes is a session IPA, very low in the IBUs, about 26
Okay.
in the bittering units. It's mostly dry hopped with all citra, so it's very nice and tropical in the nose.
You're already saying all the words that I know that I like in beer. You're saying all of them
Exactly.
right now, so I know I'm going to like this without even...
It's 4.4% ABV, so it's sessionable, crushable. You know, you take it to the beach kind of beer.
Awesome.
But it has super cool taste to it.
Okay.
And so that's what's this one. This one's 2 Minutes. And 2 Minutes, the story on that one, my brother and I are twins, and we're 2 minutes apart, so we thought it was apropos
Really?
for a beer. And
That is awesome.
Wow.
if you
No,
look-
I haven't known you for very long. I'm going to guess he's the evil twin, though, right? 'Cause you got to have one.
yes.
Yeah.
I tell him he's the older looking
wow.
one, especially.
Okay, good.
Who is older?
So I'm older by 2 minutes.
Okay.
And I tell him, listen to your superiors.
Right.
But no, my brother's a partner in the company as well as my wife and I. So the three of
Okay.
us are the partners with the organization.
Doing all, like you say, a whole family
Yeah.
thing. So
Yeah, it's all family.
absolutely,
Yeah.
and that's the most important. That keeps it together, and
Yep.
you guys have to succeed because if you don't, then he points his finger at you and said you were terrible.
We've grown so fast already in a year. You know, we've got 12 employees in a year.
Really?
You know, Christopher is one of our newest ones here. Been here the last 4 months and is doing an excellent job in the field for us. So again, just pleasure to be here with you guys.
Yeah, thank you, man. This is everything I like in an IPA right here. I know guys already.
It is definitely a beach beer.
Yeah, the great part is the lower ABV, so you can have a few of them. It's that going back to that
My
session,
man.
going back to that session talk that we've been talking about. You know, you can have more than 1, 2, 3, or 4. Now you can drink
Right.
and enjoy yourself at that lower ABV, and you really get that flavor impact on it as well.
Yeah,
Was there an IPA or something that you've had before that you wanted to model it after? Is there something? Do you have those kind of inspirations when you're trying to come up with something?
You know, it's interesting. We developed our Duality, our flagship IPA, as well as 2 Minutes, our session IPA, really specifically for the Florida market. Even though I'm from Daytona here, actually, grew up here in Ponce Hill, Daytona Beach. Coming back from Seattle to Jacksonville, we did not want to come out with a bunch of Northwest style beers.
Okay.
We wanted to come up with some lighter style, lighter in color for the SRM, super tropical nose type stuff to it. Be on trend here for the state of Florida.
SRM is what they consider the color of the beer, so that's how they standardize it. There's numbers in between that go by that, so it's called SRM.
This beer right here, if you have not tried an IPA and you're scared to, this is like a good stepping stone IPA.
Mm-hmm.
It is not aggressive at all.
Yeah.
And a wicked awesome can, by the way, which makes
Yeah.
a difference. For those of you, if you're like me and you go shopping sometimes, you want to try something new, you're like, I'm going by cans. We talk about labels a lot, right? Tell me about coming up with the design and everything.
Yeah, if you look at our design, you can definitely spot our brand across, good 15, 20 feet away from the section. And the reason you can do that is we've got a shark on the front of every single one of the cans. And our actual logo, which you can't see in front of you right now, is actually a surfboard. This is Atlantic Beach Brewing Company with a shark on top.
Okay.
Well, we put a signature shark behind our bar, just the shark itself, lit up, and it lights up different colors. And it's become this really cool phenomenon on Facebook and Instagram. Everybody wants a picture with the shark.
Yeah.
And so it really became who we are, because our tagline is aggressively pursuing craft, which goes well with that theme, obviously. And so we put that shark on the front of each can, and you can see, the cans have some change in color for the different types of beers, but that's Atlantic Beach Brewing Company's can.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Absolutely.
That's very cool. And now, Guy, we have to go get our pictures with the shark.
Absolutely. And if you guys
Not right
want to
now.
check out everything we're talking about, AtlanticBeachBrewingCompany.com. So while you're listening, if you guys want to check it out, go there.
Do you have your address offhand?
Yeah, 725 Atlantic Boulevard is where our tap room and brewery is located, and that is in Atlantic Beach, Florida.
Okay.
Great place, guys. I've been there. The amazing part about it is you walk in, you go, okay, this is a decent size. I don't know how he brews all this beer. Then you walk through this magical door, and there's a whole nother area that he has special events and all that stuff. And I'm like, okay, but where is he brewing a beer? Then you walk through this other magical door, and it's just huge. That's where his brewery is. It's just a lot bigger than it looks from the outside. It's almost like Alice in Wonderland. You just keep walking into another room, into another room, into another room, but it's awesome.
Yep.
Would it be fair to call him the Wonka of beers?
Ah.
I don't understand how in the hell you keep doing that.
It's this is exceptional, though, and you're right. This guy could see you going for a long day.
Absolutely.
With this
I have to shout out to Rory Malloy, our head brewer.
Yeah.
He's the one that created all these wonderful recipes.
Yeah.
I mean, we worked for many months before we opened our doors to work on these recipes, to come out with these and hit the ground running, basically. We opened our tap rooms over a year ago with these beers on the board.
And that was a little over a year ago they opened the tap room. They're now in our area here in Volusia, Flagler, and they're about to launch Orlando tomorrow.
Yep, this week.
Next week, so they're going to be launching in Orlando. So they're moving pretty quickly down through, and they're keeping up with the demand as well.
Well, we've talked about this before in other segments. I mean, it's not like the craft game is going anywhere. It just it grows, and you think, okay, there's too many, and there's never too many. There's always people who want to try something new and something tasty like that, for sure.
Absolutely, it's delicious. Which is the next one you'd like to work with?
I would go with Mayport Red. Mayport Red is the next higher up on the IBU.
Okay.
So Mayport Red is an English malt bill with a lot of American hops, which makes it an American red, or what some people term as a hoppy American red. And this one's very well balanced between the malts and the hops. There's a little over 41 IBUs in this beer.
Okay.
So what's nice about this beer is you can taste some maltiness, you can taste some hoppiness, you can taste a little bit of both together.
You can definitely smell that right off the top. Now, what is it as far as the brewing process goes? What changes the color?
That one right there, it's a different malt bill that changes the color.
Right.
So we add in a different style of malt. So no different than coffee beans. You roast at different levels.
Yeah.
Well, same thing with barley. It's malted at different colors and levels and different types. And so that one would have 3 or 4 different types of malts in it.
Okay.
And there's one particular one, obviously, drawing the color in that. And so that's how we change it.
Yeah. So when they do the roasted malts as well, some of you, if you do it at a higher, quicker heat for a shorter time, it'll pull some of the sugars out and caramelize it, make it a darker. If you do it light, a lower heat for a longer time, you'll get to your paler malts, which won't have that robust flavor where you're getting the sweetness and the chocolate. A lot of those light Pilsner malts and stuff are done at a lower temperature for a longer time. So then they get them, bring them in, decide which ones and flavor profiles they like, mix them, boom, away you go. There's a bunch of different malt varieties. It's not like 1 or 2. There's a bunch of different malt varieties.
This one is like the Crayola 64 pack of flavor right there. I mean, it's got there's a lot happening right there, right?
There is. Yeah, with red.
Shout out to Crayola.
You're either going to like a traditional red, or you're going to like a hoppy red.
Okay.
And so for those, we even offer another red in our tap room, which is a pure Irish red on nitro for guys that don't want a hoppy red.
Okay.
And so that's a whole different way of looking.
And is that the primary difference? Just the hops, essentially?
Yeah, pretty much. There's a little bit of difference in the malt bill, but pretty much it's the hops.
Okay. Cool. See, I never knew.
Yeah, absolutely.
I never knew the Irish red, by the way. Krista. I don't know if you're Irish or not, but shout out there. I can dye this red.
Yeah, thanks for bringing the red hair.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Yeah, thank you. This is great, though. Jeez. Right.
Real nice, real clean.
It's
got that nice malt forwardness to it, and then it hits you in the back with the hops, which are nice because you're not getting created all the way through. So if you're not a huge hop head, this is perfect because you get that malt up front, and then you get that nice bitter finish on the backside.
Yeah. And that's a 5% ABV.
Yeah.
Is that okay?
Yep.
Was that a goal when you were doing it, or does that just happen in the process?
No, it is a goal.
Yeah.
We typically didn't want to get too high ABVs
Okay.
for a lot of our cans that we launch.
Right.
Anytime you get up into 7s and 8s and
Yeah.
a higher profile, people don't buy them as often.
Yeah.
They don't purchase as often.
Right.
So now that's a 5, and then Duality, our next one that we're going to be looking at here in a minute, is 6.3%.
Okay.
So our goal for that one was to keep it under 7,
Right.
where a good IPA generally is.
Okay.
That's not a double type of thing.
Right.
And so that one netted out at 6.3%.
You know how I describe that beer?
Tell me.
You just got done working in your garage, and you
Yeah.
walk inside and you say, damn, I need a beer.
Yeah.
That's the one you go for.
See, and that's kind of beer I can make a meal out of too.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
What are you having for dinner? Why do I need dinner? I have beer.
Yeah.
If you do it right, you
Dinner
don't
in a
need
can.
Food. Yeah.
Yes.
You got to
Exactly.
remember, beer pairs so much better than wine does with food, and it'll change your
Yeah.
experience. If you get out and get that would go great with a nice barbecue with a little heat to it.
Yeah.
You sit down, gnaw on those,
see, I didn't even
absolutely
think
take a
about
little
that.
sip afterwards. That's going to pull those flavors out. That's going to be real delicious.
See, there's Vinnie coming through again. The barbecue would be perfect with that, though.
Oh,
It really would be. So
Yeah,
pulled
with a little
pork,
heat on it. You want the heat because
man.
that's those hops are going to pull that heat out, and that maltness will pull the sweetness of the barbecue out. You're set.
Mike, can you edit in some pulled pork barbecue real fast,
Yeah.
like a sandwich?
Absolutely.
All right. Yeah, I mean, I'm just imagining it right now. I'm dreaming of pulled pork barbecue. All
Now,
right.
What is this one you're pouring for us right now?
Yep. The duality.
Oh, it's Duality. Good. So Duality is our flagship IPA. It's got 70 IBUs from a hop perspective. It's 6.3% ABV, a little lighter than some of the IPAs you might see in that
Okay.
color, right? So
Right.
a little lower in the SRM. And if you think of this one focuses more on late edition hops.
Okay.
And it also has a dry finish.
All right.
So by focusing more on the late edition hops or being dry hopped in fermentation, it's not overly bitter. It's bitter. It
Yeah.
has a nice bitter charge.
Right.
But think about this. When you sit down to drink this one, you would drink number 2, you would drink number 3.
Yeah.
It doesn't, the
Yeah.
bitterness, it's not overly bitter. That'll wreck your palate as
Yeah.
you're drinking
Right.
IPAs. This one's very tropical in the nose from the type of yeast that we use, as
Okay.
well as we use 5 different hops in this beer.
Okay. Really?
Yeah, and so we actually finish it with Citra, which is what you taste in 2 minutes. But we've got Chinook,
Yeah.
Centennial, Simcoe, Cascade, and then we end with Citra.
And it is very different than the 2 minute, but it still has. I mean, it's still obviously.
Those-
if you blindfolded me, I'd still say IPA, but it's
Yeah.
very different.
Very different.
Yeah.
Yeah, a little more bite to it.
Yeah.
A little more of that bitterness, a little more
Right.
of that what we talk about, coat your tongue.
Yeah.
So when you get it and drink it down. And
What as far as
Put a little too much in my cup.
Guy has had our first over pour of the season.
Oh,
Let's hear it for Guy.
hey.
All right. Well, it happened. It's
It
about-
wasn't an accident.
it's
I was
about
going to say I don't think that was an accident, but that's all right.
on the Brew review. Let's see it again. What as far as
Put a little too much in my cup.
Guy has had our first over pour of the season.
Oh,
Let's hear it for Guy.
hey.
All right. Well, it happened. It's
It
about-
wasn't an accident.
I take a guy likes IPAs.
Okay,
we
can do it again.
And I do too. Yeah. I love the IPAs, and I didn't, when I first found IPAs, I didn't know there was a big difference between them, and I'm sure a lot of people who maybe watch these segments or learn about it find out there's a wide variety of IPAs alone, let alone everything else.
Just
right?
those two you drank today, you can
Yeah.
see a big difference.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Sure.
the 2 minutes was wonderful. But if you want a good, I wouldn't say aggressive, but amazing tasting IPA, boom, right here.
Absolutely.
That's why I poured so much.
And that's why he forced me to bring it into the market. I was
Yeah,
like, no,
that's right.
we're going to hold off. He brought it in and it's taken off, so it's good. Sometimes I have to listen to these guys. But
Well, from,
Claiming.
and from your perspective too, I mean, you end up trying a lot of beer, and find you got to find to find something that sets itself apart from anything else that you've tried is probably a big deal, right?
and this is this does set itself apart from
Yeah.
a lot of IPAs. It's a great
Yeah.
IPA.
Very good. Jeez.
And that 2 minute is one of my hottest sellers too. That's because of those people that aren't ready to drink that full IPA,
Right.
or want to sit on the beach, or want to go to the bar and have 4 or 5. They crush those.
Yeah.
We finished one off in 3 hours when we were up at the Brown Dog. Remember? We were at that event. It was like 2.5 to 3 hours.
Don't
a whole
put Chris on
keg.
the spot like
It was-
that.
It was a whole 6 barrel that was finished
Yeah.
off with the event that we were doing.
Really?
People liked it that much. They were just hammering
What is
it
that
through.
total content of a 6 bar? What did you say?
It's 5.7 gallons.
Oh,
So-
wow. Wow.
40 beers.
Yeah,
Wow.
40 to 45 pints in about 3.5 hours.
You guys were thirsty.
No, it wasn't just us drinking it.
Well, it was the 2 minutes, and then it was also the Mayport Red.
Yeah.
So, and then the Mayport Red, it went, I think, the next day. So,
Really?
I mean,
Yeah.
people
So
were drinking it. They loved it.
It went real well. It was available. These guys are actually available right now at Total Wine. We're working on getting them into ABCs.
Yeah.
They're available at I know McKay's runs them. I know Brass Tap's running them. Abby has them on. Hooligans has them
There's
on.
a couple of half walls.
Yeah, there's
Really?
a couple of half walls that have them on draft. So get out there and try them. They're great beers. And I'm going to be honest with you. There's so many breweries that come to us and talk to us. And Spencer was great the first day I met him. He was aggressive, knew what he was talking about, and had really good products. So it pulls through in his beer. He does a great job with pulling through in his beer. So.
Now, Spencer, are you like the mad? I know you mentioned you're a brewer, but are you the mad scientist who? Is there something that's happening with you guys that you want to try, some weird experiment or something that didn't work out at all that you wanted to jump into?
Yeah, it's. You mean you're talking about the overall business or the beers themselves?
Just the beers, yeah. The beers.
I mean, it's interesting. Duality was especially that mad scientist one. We tried 60 different IPAs to get to where Duality was.
That's a lot.
So
That's a
our
lot
head
of.
brewer, Rory Malloy, my brother and I sat in my brother's kitchen, and we knew we wanted to create what we term as a Florida-style IPA.
Okay.
We tried 60 different beers to come up with the different notes that we wanted in our beer. And that's how we ended up with 5 different hops in our beer as well.
Yeah.
Well, let me just say, nailed it.
Yeah. right.
And honestly, it was Rory. Rory can actually taste almost any beer and tell you exactly what hops in it.
Yeah.
And what malt grain and malt bills in it, and he can figure that out. And so
Jeez.
we're very fortunate to have somebody like
I want to
Rory.
be like that.
I know. I
Yeah.
know. I mean, that's a talent.
My problem is I drink them too fast. I'm always drinking a different one. So I drink
Yeah.
that one. I go, I think that. Oh, wait a minute. This one has. Oh, wait a minute. This
Well,
one
see,
has.
Vinny, you've turned us into sippers. We start sipping stuff now.
Oh,
Even
do you
water,
now?
we're like, that's an upstairs water cooler water, isn't it? And he nailed it every time.
Yeah, the mineral content in
Yeah.
that is a little bit lower than the one downstairs.
We've kind of figured out the nuances for sure.
Nice. Well, you do have to enjoy your beer sometimes.
No
so that's
doubt.
the whole key.
I've seen Vinny crush the 2 minutes in 2 seconds.
Yeah, right.
Really quick. The Brass Tap, it was just boom down.
Really?
I was like, all right, that's where. That's
Wait a minute.
crushable.
Wait a minute.
It was so
I don't
fast.
believe you. I want to see this.
It was a full pint.
I
2
actually,
gulps, and I was like,
belong to a group called Chuggers on Facebook. It's a private group, so you got to chug, see how fast you can chug and do. Yeah, it's called Chuggers.
There you go. Really?
Yeah, it's. I'm gonna have to chug one in here one day for the.
Okay, that's
camp.
happening. That's
Absolutely.
definitely happening.
We're gonna
for
do.
sure.
So.
All right, so we know the and we're growing. This is the beautiful. We're kind of on the front end of this thing, right? You guys are
Absolutely.
still growing this thing out. So is there like anything in the construction process, beer wise, that may be
Let me
coming
know
your way
about
that you
your
hope
new
to get out there?
Yeah, we've got some cool stuff going on.
Yeah?
We developed an Atlantic Beach lager.
Really?
And so it's a Helles lager.
Okay.
So which is a German lager, of course, and it's done traditionally. So it's very full-bodied lager with some noble hops in it. Okay. I don't have it with me, but I know
Yeah.
we're drinking plenty of Duality here.
Yeah. All right.
So we developing a new lager that'll probably hit the market at some point. Right
Okay.
now, we're just selling it in our tap room.
Yeah.
We do a Bonfire Beach brown ale, which is a Northern English style brown with a nice dry finish to it. It's a super great beer. And we put that out on limited time offers in kegs in the fall right now.
Okay.
We do a great.
That's true. You have to
Oktoberfest.
be forward thinking about all the
Yeah.
fall stuff right now.
So we have a lot of those things in the works. We do. I'm trying to think. We do some amazing imperials as well.
I was going to say, talk about your imperial stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't get it outside of the brewery, so you have to go up to the brewery to get it, unless he brings a bottle special so we can try it.
Exactly.
But I'm going to tell you,
Yeah.
it is amazing.
Really?
Yeah, we're fortunate that we can do great saisons, great imperials as well. I mean,
Yeah.
we pretty much run all the gamut.
Yeah.
About the only thing we stay away from right now is hazy beers at this point.
Yeah.
Well, there's some haze to our beers because we don't filter.
Sure.
But we're not purposely using lupulin powder and creating hazy beers. We're
Okay.
trying to create super tropical, like Duality, super
Yeah.
tropical, easy drinking IPAs.
Yeah, and they are. I mean, they're not overly fruity or anything. I was like tropical. I always think of fruit, but it's not that way. The flavor's all there. It's just not like you said. It's not overpowering.
Absolutely.
Is there a limit to that ABV that you don't want to go beyond as far as?
No way.
Yeah, yeah.
we literally,
limits.
The one we keep on the board all the time, the biggest one is 9.8%, and that's
Yeah.
our Imperial Stout, and it's super highly rated.
Okay.
It's 4.5, 4.75 stars everywhere you go.
Really?
And it's a great beer. We also do a lot of bottle releases with Imperials, and then we'll do big Belgian quads and stuff for Santa Claus. We did it last Christmas. So
Really?
we do probably about 6 bottle releases a year.
Okay.
And then we're even contemplating doing a can release and doing because we do some sours as well.
Yeah.
And we're talking about doing a fruited sour IPA
Okay.
and a can release only.
Look,
Sours?
look at Vinny looks confused.
Yes.
You know my sours. I love my sours.
Yes.
You know, the sour might be the perfect one, guy,
Yeah.
for the
No, go
Morning
ahead, hit 'em.
Hog.
You do it all. Go,
Go
ahead,
ahead.
hit him.
Go ahead.
Ask him.
What?
The Morning Hog brew. Maybe the sour would be perfect. We're kind of sour. Well, you're sour. I'm sweet, like a lollipop.
I feel like I just got ambushed. I was over here enjoying my beer.
Yeah, I know. I just had to bring it back in. But think about it.
Way to be aggressive there.
Our
Rex.
Morning Hog brew could be the sour. We'll talk to
Yeah.
the fellas after the show.
So they got a morning hog brew they're trying to get somebody to do and put on
Nice.
cans.
You know,
And they've got
a
their-
Riggs and Guy beer, I think, people would understand, because a lot of times people will call the show and they'll say, what do you guys taste like? And we don't really have an answer.
Yeah, I
But
don't
if we
want to know.
applied it to beer,
I really don't want to know
It's
what it
got to
tastes
be
like.
an IPA. Come on.
yeah, it's got to be.
Yeah.
It's definitely
It's a sour
IPA.
IPA.
And like I told you,
Could be a
I
sour
tell everyone,
IPA.
I have the perfect name. No one's like, oh, that's good. And I'm not going to give up. Riggs and Guy.
Okay.
All one word.
All right.
Riggs and Guy.
All right.
Riggs and Guy IPA.
Look, put a post-it in Spencer's pocket right now. Maybe you got some. All right. So, again, tell us retail-wise right now.
Yeah,
Well, we can change this
ABC
up.
definitely.
Okay.
Or I'm sorry, Total Wine definitely.
Okay.
We're working on ABC right now.
Okay.
We're also on for off premise. Oh, some of the independents like Kenny's and stuff has it as well.
Okay. Oh, good.
And then off premise, like we talked about earlier, some of the Hooligans, some of the Half Walls, Abby McKay's, Brass Tap. Pretty much a lot of those craft eccentric bars will have it.
Perfect.
And
Perfect.
we're in Dixie as well, right?
Winn-Dixie. Yes,
Winn-Dixie.
I forgot about
Great.
Winn-Dixie. Absolutely. So Winn-Dixie as well. Yep.
Perfect.
Now, is that all Winn-Dixies in the
I believe
area?
They're in all Winn-Dixies. The 2 minute at least is in all Winn-Dixies.
Okay.
All right. And if we want to come out and see you personally, see you guys in the tap room, tell us how to get address and stuff so people will know
Yeah,
again.
again, we're at 725 Atlantic Boulevard in Atlantic Beach, which, for those of you who don't know where Atlantic Beach is, it's just north of Jacksonville Beach.
Perfect.
So it's right out there on the beaches. We're literally a block from the beach, so easy to find. So come out. We usually keep 12 to 14 of our own beers on tap.
Awesome.
We also offer a little bit of cider and a little bit of wine for those of you that have a spouse or somebody that doesn't
Really?
drink beer.
And you
Look
have
at
food
that.
too, correct?
We do. We actually have food thanks to our friends at the bistro next door. We share a common hallway with their kitchen.
Okay.
Oh.
So it works out really well.
Oh, wow.
So you
God, I
can go
bet
up
it
there,
smells-
have some food, have
bet it
some
smells
beer,
good there, too.
and go
Yeah.
to the beach.
Right.
We're all good, right?
Right.
So,
So when I go to the Georgia-Florida game this year,
Exactly.
I can
Come
crash
see
in
us.
your floor.
Yeah, definitely.
I told you the place is huge. There's
two
plenty of room.
couches- There's 2 couches in the back tap room.
Look at
there
that.
You go, man.
Trust me, you do not want us sleeping in there because
No,
you come in,
yeah,
your
well.
your beer kegs will be down.
But this is good. And it's got to be like a nice thing to do, kind of retreat to when you grow this brand, but you go back to the tap room, and that's where it all began and
Yeah.
still grows, right?
And that's the cool part is that's where we do our innovation.
Yeah.
So and the nice thing is we have so many great consumers that come in all the time, telling us what they'd like us to brew to. So we change some of that up. We do some things just for them.
Yeah.
And we do some pilot batch work as well. So a lot of times you can do 2 kegs instead of 20
Really? Okay.
on the batch. So
Yeah.
we do a lot of it that way as well.
Cool.
Again, if you guys want to check out everything we're talking about and their place, you can go to AtlanticBeachBrewingCompany.com.
And if you want to find where the beer is sold, you can go to SR Perrott's website, and they have a beer
Exactly.
finder. Yep. So just go up there, plug in the Atlantic Beach, and it'll tell you everywhere it's available.
That's it. All right. Boys, let's go. Chris, you have anything?
You got something, Chris?
No,
got some-
Any of the
that's the
Chris's
first
in the room?
information he's given us on where you can find our beer.
Yeah.
That's great information.
Well, maybe if you were out there selling more, I could get more places. Well,
This segment just turned into a challenge. All right.
So do you guys want to give a big cheers on 3?
That's right.
Cheers.
1, 2, 3.
You,
Cheers.
you can find their beer in my hand.